Okay, so let's start. So this session is about the introduction of Salesforce.com. Along with that, a very high level overview of what exactly Salesforce is, what exactly the concepts of Salesforce is, what are the different types of CRM. If not Salesforce, then what? So there are a lot of things which we'll be learning during the course of this particular session. Right. So let me start and just a minute. Right. So let me start by introducing myself. My name is Sudhanshu. I have about 10 plus years of experience. I worked with multiple CMM level 5 organizations, more than a dozen Fortune 500 clients, and I've implemented all types of clouds: sales, service, marketing, custom, and I'm certified developer, admin, and service cloud consultant. A part of Salesforce, I teach other lot of things which we'll be discussing during the tenure of our training. And I've been teaching people who belong to multiple organizations, maybe from Adobe, maybe from Reliance, from TCS, from Infosys, from Accenture. A lot of people are there whom I have trained. Right. And whatever I know based on the functional expertise or technical expertise, I'll try my best to impose all these trainings in these sessions. So this is the outcome of the session. Basically, the overview: what exactly is CRM as a tool? How can we use it? What exactly is Salesforce? What is the basic development life cycle, like any other life cycle? How to create a free environment, and some basics about the overall Salesforce as a CRM functionality. It will be a short session because it's a demo, and the other part of setting the company profile, the locale, the languages, the time zone, we'll be doing in the next class in on Saturday. So let's start. So what exactly is cloud computing? So cloud computing is internet based computing whereby shared resources, softwares, and informations are provided to computers and other devices on demand. This is pretty bookish definition, a bit difficult to remember. My definition of cloud computing is: cloud is nothing but a cluster of networks where we can implement a computing model. So that particular computing model can comprise of three different types. One is infrastructure as a service, that is called as IaaS; platform as a service, which is called PaaS; and software as a service, which is called SaaS. So when I talk about infrastructure as a service, I mean that instead of getting a physical infrastructure, you get the infrastructure on cloud, that is the internet. For example, in early days, if you want to, early days when I say 1990s, if you want to utilize and use an email for your company, what you need to do is you need to buy a Windows NT server, install it in your physical location, and then use it. So but nowadays everybody have Gmail or Rediff Mail or Yahoo Mail account, right? And that too free, right? So initially, if you have Windows NT server installed, what you need to do is you need to configure it, you need a resource to manage it, you need to have a proper power supply, you need to have a very secure system. If the system fails or the operating system fails, everything will go down and people will not be able to utilize the emailing system, right? So instead of having a server, a physical server, there are multiple services, not only for servers but for storage, for packaging your tool. A lot of things are available. Some of the example being Amazon Web Services, the most popular one, GoGrid, Rackspace.com. Right. So these are very popular examples of infrastructure as a service. Salesforce or Force.com does not come under infrastructure as a service. Then we talk about platform as a service. What exactly is platform as a service? Initially, you remember in our old college days, we used to have that blue colored compilers, blue colored tools for developing C++ programs. We call them Turbo C++ or something. I still can't recollect the names, but those are tools which we need to install, then use it to develop our applications. Nowadays, there are a lot of tools which are available online. The most famous example is w3schools.com. You go to w3schools.com, you can put your code over there, you can run your code over there and see the result. Right. So there are various platforms like that which are much more advanced where you can go and develop your own full-fledged software. So one of the example is force.com, which is the platform part of Salesforce. App Engine, that is the Google App Engine, where you can develop your apps and even you can sell your applications as well. We all have Google Play in our mobile phones. If you're using Android, you can develop it in Google App Engine and you can sell your applications directly in the Google Play Store. Then comes the Microsoft Azure, the biggest competitor of Salesforce.com. Very powerful tool to develop apps and competing very strongly with Salesforce.com nowadays. Then comes software as a service, that is SaaS. So instead of using Gmail service through a physical structure, you can have a Rediff Mail, Yahoo Mail, or Gmail nowadays on the cloud. Other examples are Google Docs. So instead of having a physical storage drive, you have Google Docs or you can have a Dropbox, which can be used on the cloud. Right. There are various services involved like Basecamp, NetSuite, or even if you want to have a CRM. Initial days, people use CRMs like Siebel, where you need to have a server, you need to have a virtual software, you need to have all sort of physical tools. But nowadays, if you want to have a CRM, there are multiple options available. We'll be talking about various examples of CRM. Salesforce is one of them, very popular one as such. Right. So these are basic three modules using which we can define the cloud computing, and there are various examples associated with that. What are the advantages of using a cloud computing tool than using a standalone software or anything which needs to be installed in your system and then use it? So let's talk about the advantages. The first and the very good example is the scalability. What do you mean by scalability? Scalability means if today I am a small company, maybe a startup, and if after 5 years down the line or 10 years down the line, my business grows to a certain extent, then I'll require more and more resources. Or if I'm already a grown company and I want to shrink my resources to a certain extent, still I want to change a lot of things in my system. In both the cases, I'll need to change a lot of tools, a lot of system architecture. So for that, I'll give you a real-time example. I was working for one of the banks called Barclays in early 2000, and they were migrating from one server of IBM to IBM RAD 2.0, and it was an application which is based on Java. We took about 3 months to write the whole code to migrate it from one server instance to another server instance. Right? If this could have done in Salesforce.com, it will not take much time just to give a phone call to salesforce.com and they will be making it compatible to the new server. It is auto compatible, so you don't even have to worry about the compatibility of the next level. The service provider, that is salesforce.com, will take care of it. If you need to have more resources, you need to pay extra money, but you'll get it directly. Another example is like Gmail. You might have seen a pointer which is ticking up, like your memory space of Gmail is keep on increasing, right? So if you want to have a certain amount of memory space, you can directly buy it from Gmail and they'll provide you like 5 GB or 10 GB of space just by paying some extra money. You don't have to install something on your physical location to increase your resources, or if you even if you want to decrease it, you can still do that. So scalability is very easy in cloud computing tools. Am I audible, guys? I'll be taking quick breaks and just be asking you whether my flow is correct or not, because this is our first session. You can type yes, no. Okay. Then comes the automatic upgrades. Every 4 months, Salesforce upgrades itself, and whatever is latest, the new updates which is available in Salesforce.com is given to you for free of cost, right? So what is the advantages of auto upgrades? For example, Venkata is one of the developers who is working in Sales Cloud. Ajay is another developer who is working in Service Cloud. Ajay thinks that there has to be some extra features for case management. Venkata thinks there has to be some extra emailing features for lead management. There is a portal in salesforce.com called idea portal. We'll be exploring that in the functional Salesforce session. That you can put your idea over there, and if Salesforce and people who thinks like similar to you, they can vote for your idea. And if your idea goes to a certain vote level, Salesforce people will go and develop your idea and implement that functionality in Salesforce itself, and it will be available to all the people for free. Right. So they will be upgrading their own system based on demand. That's why it is called CRM on demand. So you demand and Salesforce provide you the solution and make it free of cost to all the users. So this they do it 3 times a year. That is every 4 months there is a release. So we'll be talking about that. There are three different type of releases: summer, winter, and spring. And when I will create our environment, I'll show you how exactly you can recognize that. Third advantage, if you want to implement salesforce.com, you don't have to have an additional data center, any storage. If you want to have, you don't need that. Basically, you just need to buy a subscription of salesforce.com if it is a paid environment, and that's it. You are good to go. Right. So no external internal data cost. The overall cost reduces. Low upfront cost. As a startup, if I want to start, if I need a CRM, what I need to do is I just need to go to salesforce.com, buy a license, and I'm good to go. Right. So it's very predictable cost for a startup person, that if I want to if I need a CRM, and if I need one license, two license, five licenses, there are fixed costs available, and you can go ahead and buy it, and you can predict a yearly cost for a particular CRM with a lot of functionalities, which is relatively very low as compared to Siebel or any other competitors of Salesforce.com. And the main advantage is you don't have to focus on the infrastructure. Salesforce people will take care of it. You just need to focus on your application. For example, if I want to implement an email marketing system in the sense, I as a company, we are training providers and you people are interested in training. If you, some of you people have called me, then what I'll do is I'll take your email IDs, put it into my system, and automatically the system will keep on sending you emails. Right. If I want to implement certain kind of system, then I don't have to worry about any infrastructure, whether I need to buy a storage system or I need to buy any specific tool or software. I just need to buy a license of salesforce.com, and I can, if I can configure it well, I can just focus on my application idea. That's it. I don't have to buy any additional infrastructure for that. So the primary goal is to focus on your idea, on your application, and not the infrastructure. So two interview questions. What are the various modules of cloud computing? IaaS, PaaS, and SaaS, and you can talk about them with examples. Second interview questions: what are the advantages of using salesforce.com? Scalability, automatic upgrades, no internal data center, low upfront cost, and you can focus on applications and not infrastructure. Right. So we will be dealing with multiple interview questions while doing the trainings, and we'll be talking about various format of questions as well. Because in your interviews there will be multiple types of questions asked in different ways. Some of the questions will be scenario based. I'll be going through those questions as well. Let's let's go to the next slide. So we talked about Salesforce as a cloud computing tool. Let's talk about Salesforce as a CRM. What exactly is a CRM means? Uh, what do you mean by customer relationship management tool? Let's talk about the bookish definition first, then I'll give you a real time example. CRM is a model used to manage organization interactions like phone calls, emails, meetings, and social media with customers and prospects, penetrating to sales, marketing, and support. What do you mean by this definition? You don't have to learn the whole thing, but if you can give examples in your interview, that will add a lot of value, and the interviewer, will know that you have worked a lot on the real time functionalities. So what do you mean by CRM? Let's start with an examples. Most of us have received calls from banks. Hello sir, I am calling from ICICI Bank. Do you need a credit card? Do you need a bank loan? Do you need a medical insurance? By mistake, if you say yes, they'll start asking questions. May I know your full name, sir? May I have your email ID? May I have your designation in your current company? What kind of package or what kind of requirement of personal loan is there? And they will be documenting everything. Based on that, they will be sending you emails. They will be offering you a lot of discount offers in social media. They can track you. There are like multiple tools like that, and they can follow up with you to sell and cross sell their products. If you can notice, well, I'm just giving you a thought that if a bank has called you for a bank loan, and if you have given them your information, you will be receiving phone call for bank loans. They will be receiving a phone call for credit cards. You will be receiving calls for medical insurance for the same bank, because they're selling multiple products to you just by collecting your basic information. This is about a prospect. Prospect means somebody who is ready to do business with me. So if you are attending a demo session, you are my prospects. You have not paid any fee, right? So you are just a prospective customer to me. If you like this demo, then only you will join me in my trainings, and then you'll pay the fees and the business transaction will start, right? So before even a person becomes a customer, he is a prospect, and there are multiple ways you can talk to the prospect and document everything. Once you become a customer, then also CRM is very, very useful. There are multiple times, if you are having a bank account in SDFC or ICICI or any other banks, you'll be receiving multiple emails from them about various offers, various bank loans, or maybe a wish of your birthday or a marriage anniversary and all those things. So everything is tracked: your phone call information, your emails, and a lot of things about your personality, and that information is used on social media to sell, market, and provide service to you as a customer or prospect. So, another question: what is a CRM? CRM is a tool which is used to interact with your customers or prospective customers through phone calls, through emails, through meetings, or social media, to sell or to cross sell or to market or to support your customers. That's it. Examples of CRM: Siebel. Siebel is a pretty old CRM nowadays. Most of the projects which you people will be working will be migrating your code from Siebel to Salesforce. Right, we'll be talking more about these kind of scenarios. Siebel is a standalone tool. It is not on cloud. You'll get a DVD drive. You need to install a Siebel in your system, and then you can use it. It's not a cloud-based tool. Another example is Zoho. Zoho is picking up very well. It is an Indian company. It is developed in India. The only challenge with Zoho is it has very limited functionalities. It is not vast like Salesforce.com. Salesforce is huge. Like, I've seen trainings of Salesforce, which is of like 5 days, 6 days, 10 days, 18 days to even 40 days, 4040. Right. So that much time is required to train on Salesforce end to end if you want to go end to end. Right. So it is huge. So there are a lot of modules. In Zoho, there are very limited portions which you can use. I think mostly it is on Sales Cloud. We'll talk about Sales Cloud and Service Cloud as well. Why, what exactly is Sales Cloud, what exactly is Service Cloud, through an example. Infusionsoft, very popular in the marketing CRM market space. So if you have heard of any of the motivational speakers, like from Shiv Kheda to Tony Robbins to any of them, and in many of their websites you will see opt-ins. Opt-ins means if you want to get their free newsletter, or if you want to get any free service of theirs, you go to their website and they will ask for your name, phone number, and email. Right, you put on that information, save it, and you'll receive an email from their side, and they'll keep on bombarding you with their information until and unless you are ready to buy a particular product from them. So these are called opt-ins, and once you provide your information, it is with them, and they'll be keep on sending you the details. So this is can be done through email marketing. We'll learn how to do it in salesforce.com. So Infusionsoft is one of the tools which is used in that. And definitely the number one CRM in the market, which is salesforce.com. Very, very popular. It started in 1999 by executive of Oracle named Mark Benioff, running it very, very successfully since then. and has a wonderful future if you want to work on Salesforce as an admin, as a business analyst, or as a developer. Why do you need a CRM? Another question comes up, why do you need a CRM? Basically to measure your sales activities. If you have sold something in the market, then you need to measure how it is sold in the last quarter, this quarter, and you can predict something from the next quarter. So basically to measure your business, CRM is a very, very useful tool to track your customer interactions. If I have given you a call to buy one of my products, say a credit card, the next time somebody else will call you and he will know what exactly was the previous discussion. Next time somebody else will call you to sell something else, but they will know what exactly was the previous two discussions. That means everything is tracked in a particular system so that you won't feel irritated that every time you are giving the information again and again, right? So if the CRM is good, all these interactions are maintained in a very organized way. To follow up with your customers, if you are my leads for a particular training, I need to give you a follow up call that today there is a demo session, on 7th there is a class which needs to start, and all those things. To provide all customer data in one place, very important point. There are this particular CRM information can be used for multiple purposes like to market, to sell, and to provide service, and Salesforce provides everything in one module, right? So all this data can be stored in one place and can be used for multiple things. We'll be talking about multiple scenarios in our future classes to save time and effort for better productivity. As the data is at one place, it has multiple modules, a lot of time and effort can be saved, and it is very, very cost effective. So you need to mind my words. I'm not saying Salesforce is cheap. Salesforce is cost effective. Salesforce is rather a, a costly tool compared to Zoho and any other tool which is available in Indian industry. If I talk about, so there are very few customers of Salesforce in India, but globally if you talk about as a whole, Salesforce has a lot of wonderful functionalities which will make it very, very cost effective for larger organizations. Okay, so why we are learning Salesforce? Very important question. First point, very easy to learn. Second, free environments are available, so whatever is free, we Indians love it. Third is good and great job prospects both in India and abroad, so we'll be talking about them in one of our sessions. So even if you are from a non-technical background, still you can go with that. Lot of opportunities available in the market, very highly paid jobs. If you are good in this art of Salesforce, I'll tell you, people are and minting money like anything. A part of doing a job, you can do freelancing as well, which is pretty lucrative. I'll tell you what are the various options for that, and a lot of on-site opportunities for sure, because Salesforce is something which deals very, very closely with the business. So whenever there is business plus technology as a combination, that thing is highly lucrative. Another example is SAP. So SAP is something which is also close to business as well as technology. So it is always a lucrative skill to learn. Okay, so something about Salesforce.com. Established in 1999 by Mark Benioff, it uses cloud computing technologies. You don't have to install anything, no hardware required. Just by having a license, you are good to go. It have its own API, and which you can use to develop your applications. And if you want to sell your own applications, you still have an online market to go. So that online market is called appexchange.com. It's just like Google Play Store. So let me write some of the pointers because I've been, yeah, somebody's saying something. Okay. So what all things we have talked about, let me just make a note of that. So we talked about cloud computing, what exactly is cloud computing. Then we talked about what is IaaS, PaaS, and SaaS. These are nothing but modules of cloud computing. Then we talked about what exactly is CRM and what exactly is Salesforce. We just started with what exactly is Salesforce. We talked about the use of CRM for an industry. We talked about some examples. What are the examples of CRM? We talked about Salesforce as a company established in 1999. It's has its own API, and you can develop in API. You can develop your tools and the online market space. Online market space it has, which is called appexchange.com. App Exchange, where you can go ahead and sell your products as well. So you can imagine this App Exchange as your Google Play Store. Google Play Store. So it is just like your Google Play Store. Let's go back and talk about some more features of Salesforce.com. So Salesforce is a cloud-based customer relationship management system. It is a web-based service. Users can sign up and log into Salesforce through a browser. Therefore, user can access their database from anywhere within internet connection. So another interview question, what exactly is Salesforce and how it is different from others, right? So Salesforce is a cloud-based customer relationship management system. It's a web-based service. Users can sign up and log into Salesforce through a browser if they have an internet connectivity. Second thing is how it is different from others. Some of the pointers I have talked about. You can tell about the advantages of Salesforce, and it have more number of functionalities compared to other counterparts like Microsoft Azure or Zoho or Infusionsoft. What is the usage of Salesforce.com? As a CRM, you have a lot of functionalities like you can track and organize data of all customers at one place, measure and improve lead generation activities. You can collaborate with other employees on business insights if you want. That means if I'm a user of Salesforce, you are a user of Salesforce, then we can both chat with each other, and if we are working on the same company, we can help each other to grow your own business. I'll be telling you this thing in the another example in couple of minutes. So you can collect data from your competitors and develop business plans on that. You can track, manage, and resolve customer issues as well using a case management system. What exactly is case management? We'll talk about that as well. As a platform, you can use this Salesforce platform to develop and manage cloud-based application. Even if you are not using Salesforce as a CRM, you can use it as a platform to develop application. What I mean from that is, just to give you an idea, that Snapdeal.com, which is an e-commerce portal, and Ola, which is a cab service, both of them has developed their applications, especially their websites, based on Salesforce.com. Just by looking at the website, it will not appear as a normal Salesforce.com application because they have implemented a lot of UI based components, but it's so wonderfully developed and very, very successful in the market. Who all uses cloud computing CRMs? I think everybody. So all the domains, may it be from insurance and banking industry, from banks like Barclays, Citibank, from communication and high tech industry to like VMware, Autodesk, kind of companies, from like pharma companies which are like Genentech or Pfizer. All of them are using it. Entertainment industry, very very surprising, even entertainment industry is using Salesforce as a CRM. Maybe Walt Disney to Warner Brothers, both of them are using. I have worked for Walt Disney for some time. It's a wonderful application they have developed. Many product based companies, even Facebook started using Salesforce.com, but they have now migrated it to their own CRM, which they have developed. Adobe is using Salesforce.com. I've been training Adobe for some of their batches. Social media companies, Chatter, even Twitter is using Salesforce.com as their CRM. Now, how different is the development cycle? We all follow waterfall model, all the agile model for software development. Is it anyway different in Salesforce.com? No, it is not at all different. Even Salesforce follows the same models, most of the time agile. The tools are different. So we'll be talking about various tools which are used in Salesforce.com, like their development environments, where we go and develop Salesforce.com. They, they are divided into sandbox and production environments. We'll be talking about them. Then there are multiple tools, a part of the normal API, which will be utilizing, like Eclipse with a force.com plugin. Many of the Java developers use Eclipse, and we'll be utilizing the same using a force.com plugin. There are various APIs like metadata API, there is a tooling API, there is a streaming API which you can use with salesforce.com. We'll be talking about some of them in our advanced development classes. There are two types of development mainly in salesforce.com. That means two way of developing an application. One is the declarative way of development. Another is the programmatic way. In declarative, it is more of point and click, drag and drop, no coding knowledge required. That means you can become a Salesforce administrator even by even without knowing any kind of coding. But most of the times these kind of jobs are available in US. Outside India, US and UK maybe, but in India most of the jobs are specific to your admin plus development knowledge. So you need to have some programmatic exposure, some basic knowledge of OOPS, and you can learn Visual Force and Apex coding. So another type of development, the customizations options available in salesforce.com is called programmatic customization, where you need to write a code. So declarative and programmatic customizations, two ways to develop salesforce.com capabilities. So let's start. Let's create our free environment. There are two ways to create a free environment. First is you go to one website called salesforce.com, you sign up, click on the sign up button, you submit a form, and you will get an environment for 30 days. Basically used by the users to just test the application. Right? It's not used to learn the development part. It will only last for 30 days. You can go ahead and you can create that as well. But what we will be doing is we'll be going through this website called as developer.salesforce.com, going to the submit button and filling up a form, and you will get a environment which will never expire, only in the case if you have not updated anything in that environment for 6 months, that then only it will expire. Otherwise it can be staying with you for the lifetime. It doesn't matter like if you are utilizing it for your POCs or for product development as well. So let's go ahead to this developer.salesforce.com. We'll click on this button called sign up, and just telling you the process. I'll be just creating that environment right now as well. We'll fill up this form which you can see right over there. So we need to provide your first name, your last name, your email address, an authentic email address where you'll receive all your notifications, maybe your company name, in which particular country you are in. Based on that, the server will be associated with you, a postal code, and a unique username. Now, this is something which you need to remember. You can have multiple developer environments. It's free of cost on the same email. That means you don't have to provide different emails every time, but you need to have a unique username, right? So first time if I'm creating a an environment for Sudhanshu Jain 1984 or 1982 at gmail.com, that is my email ID. Then on the username, I'll be putting the name as Sudhanshu Jain at gmail.com dot November. Or maybe next time, maybe December or January or February. So username has to be unique, right? So with the same email ID, you can have multiple developer environment, but the username has to be unique. And then you will receive an email. Let's see how we can create a environment. Let's go ahead. So let me go to this website called developer.salesforce.com. I'm posting this website in the chat window as well, so that you can also click on that and open it parallelly. Let me know if you are able to see my screen, that is developer.salesforce.com. Type yes if you can see that. Cool. So let me go and just see what exactly I'm doing, and I would request you to create your own environments as well, so that from the next session we can directly start with configuring our environments. So we want to sign up in our free environment. So let me click on this button, green button called sign up, top right hand side, green colored. Let me click on that and let's see what happens. When I click on sign up, there is a form which I need to fill. Let me fill up this form. Let me put my name, right? And let me put an email ID over there. Let's say sudhanshujain2014 at gmail.com. And I'll put a username here as well, which is unique. So I'll put January 2017, right? Okay. Okay, unique. I need to click on this box and then click on sign me up. Once I'll click on that, I'll be receiving an email on the email ID which I have provided over here. So once you see this screen which says almost there, please check your email to confirm your account. Can you see the screen? Type yes if you can see that. Okay. So let me go to the email ID and see what happened. This is not the email which I provided. So let me go back to the original one, the email ID which I have provided. So I might be receiving an email from Salesforce developers which says, welcome to force.com developer edition. Dear Sudhanshu Jain, your username is below. So this is my username which I have provided over there, sudhanshujain2014 at gmail.com.jan. You'll be asked to set a password and password question and answer when you first log in. All the passwords are case sensitive and there is a link provided. So let me click on this link to log in for the first time. When you click on this link which is given to you, you'll be asked to reset your password for the first time, right? So I'll put a password which I can remember, and I can put a question answer, maybe which city your first job was. My first job was in Mumbai, and I'll click on this change password button. And once I click on this button, I'll be redirected to my first Salesforce environment. So this is how Salesforce looks like, right? And we'll be doing this thing, whatever we'll be learning in next couple of months, or if you are in Salesforce expert program, maybe in next 3 months, next 10 to 15 weekends, whatever course you are in, we'll be learning everything on this particular environment. So I'll be giving you all the examples on my this particular environment, and you and will request you to solve your all your case studies and your class examples in your respective environments which you are creating. So what you need to do right now is you need to remember your username and your password. So maybe you can save this particular username somewhere. So let me save it somewhere because I'll be using the same to teach you about the concepts on Monday. So this is my username, right? And the URL which I need to use to log in is called login.salesforce.com, right? So by any chance, if I want to log out for this particular environment, you can see I have my name, the username on top called Sudhanshu Jain. If I click on that, I'll have four options: my profile, my settings, developer console, and logout. We'll be talking about these three options later on, but if I want to log out, I can click on this logout button and I'll be logging out from the instance, right? So you can see I have already opened this login.salesforce.com. Let me copy this URL and share it with you. This is used for login again. So let me log in by putting my username. So I'll put my username as sudhanshujain2014 at gmail.com.jan, and we'll be providing a password as well. If you are logged in from a different URL, then they will definitely send you a verification code on your email just to add an additional level of security. So they will ask you your phone number as well. If you don't want to put, I don't want to register my phone, just click on this link as below. They will never ask you again. So now you are again in your Salesforce environment. We'll be learning a lot about this whole environment. Coming back to the topic. So how exactly this Salesforce environment structure works? So currently we have created our development environment. Once your application development is done, you move to your application to the testing environment, which is nothing but migrating application, that is deployment. We learn the deployment as well in our sessions, and then to UAT environments, and finally to your production environment. So this is nothing like no difference than any other implementation which you are working on. So it will be the deployments will be using different tools, but the process is same. Some of the definitions before closing this demo session, which are very popular in salesforce.com, and we'll be utilizing them every now and then. First is the license. License is something which is purchased for a particular user to have access to the system. So when I say I need two users in salesforce.com, I mean I need to buy two licenses, and one user per license needs to be created by the system. That's how Salesforce makes money. Let's take a different example. What if I ask you to create two Gmail accounts? Gmail licenses are free. What you will do, you go to gmail.com and you'll create two Gmail IDs. Gmail IDs does not require any license. It's free of cost. But if you want to create two different users in an environment, it will require a license, something which Salesforce provides you. Without that, you cannot create a different user in the system, right? So every license has a particular cost, and how to decide that cost, what are the various pointers you need to remember to buy a particular license, all those things we'll be discussing in the functional Salesforce session. Then comes the user. User is someone who has a unique username and can log into the cloud CRM. Definitely, somebody who has a username and a password will be called as user. Currently, I am a user whose user ID is sudhanshujain2014 at gmail.com.jan, and I have a password and I can log into the system. By default, if you are creating a free environment in salesforce.com, you become system administrator. So system administrator is a user who have complete access of the system, someone who is eligible enough technically to design the whole application. Then comes the objects and fields. Objects are just like tables in a database, and fields are the columns of those particular tables. So as a CRM, we'll be talking about multiple types of tables, like leads, which are prospective customers; opportunities, which are deals; contacts, that means the persons who are helping us in a business. We'll be talking about all those tables in detail. Then comes the functional definitions. What are leads? Leads are the people who are your prospective customers, who have not directly done a business with you, but they are ready to do business with you maybe in a future time. For example, you are currently my leads. So when you are ready to do business with me, when you join my class, then you will become my opportunity, right? Then comes the contact. Contact is a person who you are currently pursuing your deal with, right? If you are talking to Poonam, a point of contact, or if I'm talking to you by and if I want to put your whole team into for a particular training, then you are my contact who is helping me to pursue the whole deal. Account refers to the entity which is associated to an account. to a contact. That means if I want to do a business with, say, Ajay's company, then Ajay is my point of contact. And all the business transaction which I'll be dealing with Ajay's companies, I'll be creating an entity called as account. Maybe the name of the account is the name of the company where Ajay is working on. Then comes the opportunity, which refers to the deal you are tracking in your pipeline. So main four functionalities corresponding to Sales Cloud, which we have discussed. Let's talk about these all of these things in a real-time example, basically a story which you can remember, and you can give some examples as well in your interviews, right? Which will also clarify your concept of all the different types of clouds which we talked about. Let's imagine a scenario that there is one person, his name is Sudhanshu. Sudhanshu lives in Pune. Sudhanshu has a friend named Ajay who lives in Gujarat. He has one more friend named Venkata who lives in, say, Karnataka. Sudhanshu runs this business of, say, a factory who manufactures biscuits. And he want to expand his business. So he talks to his friends Ajay and Venkata who work in an organization. Maybe both of them are working for a school. We'll call it school 1 and here school 2. That why don't you people talk to your schools so that I can sell my biscuits to their schools and they can distribute it in, for their students. So here Ajay started talking to not only his school, but it is also they started also talking to some of the other point of contacts who can buy products from me. And I also personally directly interacting started interacting with more number of people who can buy my products. So initially Ajay is a contact for me with whom I am pursuing a deal with this account called School 1. Ajay can also be my prospective customer later on. So currently it's a lead for me. Later on it can become a contact. These are the people who are also prospective customers to me. So these are called leads. Out of these people, this person and this person said that I'll be doing business with you. Rest of the people say no, we are not ready to do business with you. So these people became my opportunities along with Ajay and Venkata, through which I will be doing business with their accounts, that is school 1 and school 2, and maybe with their accounts as well, the other two leads which I have converted. Once I started doing business with them, that means I contacted them as a lead. This person helped me to directly do business with their organizations and became a contact later on, and maybe I created an account for their companies, and they also helped me to grow my business by creating other leads as well. The whole process for selling my product comes under Sales Cloud, right? Then comes after selling, if I want to provide service to them, maybe because from I live in Pune and Ajay lives in Maharashtra. Between Maharashtra and Gujarat, there is a road which is not very good in quality, and a lot of biscuits got damaged. So Ajay said, I want to return your biscuits and I want my money back for some of the consignments. So what I'll do, I'll create a process where whenever a request comes from Ajay, I create something called as case. That this particular consignment is damaged because of this reason, because this much money has to be refunded on this particular date. And one of my team members will be working on this case and helping Ajay to get its refunds. So this is something which is called as service. So sales comes first, then comes service. Initially, before even sales, I could have created a campaign to send emails to all those people who I know about my product, the biscuit. So if they are ready, they can contact me and become a lead, and later on I convince them to do business with me and they become an opportunity. Right. I have given you my example. You can convert this example to any other business deal which you might have known. Let's convert it to something which you are daily dealing with. That is your internet connectivity. This is you, or this is, let's say, this is some company like BSNL. BSNL contacted you so that they can establish the internet in your company. They are talking to you, so you became a lead. And once you started convincing your boss that BSNL is good, they'll make you a point of contact and they'll make your company as the account and they'll be doing business through you. The contact might get some commission because they have helped them to get the business. And so, as the other people who want to buy the BSNL connectivity. Once the BSNL connection is set up, you'll start using it, and maybe later on there are certain issues regarding the connectivity, and you call them through a phone call, through a toll free number, that my modem is not working. And they say, okay, sir, your case is registered. That's what they say. And within 2 days, our team will get back to you. So, what they are doing, they are providing service. Once they have sold the connection to you, then they are providing service. All those implementation for sales cloud, for service cloud, that is creating leads, creating contacts, creating accounts, and creating cases, is possible in salesforce.com. And it has to be it will be very very organized, and you can control it at a very good level. You can have the centralized data in one place, and you can utilize that particular data to even sell or cross sell, to provide service at multiple levels to your clients. We'll be dealing with multiple examples of such genre in our future classes. So that's it from my side in terms of the demonstration for today's session, and I'm open for questions. If you have any questions from your side, anything which is not clear to you, which you want to repeat, or any other queries regarding the training sessions in terms of content, you can go ahead and ask.
Hi, Shraddhanshi. I'm good with the techno.
Yeah. Okay.
Uh, can you please share the content of what are the topics you cover under this training?
Definitely, definitely. So I'll be sending you the whole video, along with that the presentation which I have shown, and it will be continuing in the next session as well. And what all contents I will be covering, everything I'll be sending you in an email.
Okay.
Cool.
Just I want to know
Yeah.
whether you will focus more on classic version or lightning version, because classic version will be go away from 2018, right?
No, it's not like that. They will not go away in 2018. The Lightning version has just arrived, so they'll be continuing with the classic version. And Lightning is a new module which they have came up. Very very useful. It's a very separate topic. So this whole training in the
Okay.
Salesforce Pro will be only focusing on the classic version, not
Okay.
the
Okay.
Lightning. Yeah.
Okay.
Cool. So have a very good night, and I'll be sending you emails for the next session and the details about the fee structure as well, and my bank account as well, so that you can deposit the fee. And we'll continue with the session on Saturday then. Have a nice evening. Good night.